Gaming Today presents Cash Considerations.
Welcome to the Cash Considerations podcast. Today is, what the hell is today? Thursday, May 28th. In the evening, we have all the boys here and a special guest, friend of the show. Let's bring everybody in. We're going to have a lot of discussion today about a bunch of different topics. As always, the tag team duo in the same square, in the same room, two guys, one microphone. Alan Berg, @%Berg. What's up, AB?
Oh, the usual, just having to be a little bit too close to Mo.
That's all right.
Yep.
But
There he is.
there's
Nodding in
worse
agreement.
people for sure. So
Yeah.
it's all good.
Is there? I don't even. That doesn't seem right.
At Heathy
for the
State,
show.
Okay, that's
Matoy
fine.
Pearson. What's up, Mo?
What's the deal? I can't call it. I feel like I've watched more NASCAR in the last 7 days than I ever have in my life. So that's how it's going for me.
Yeah. Well, let's go over and welcome in managing editor of Gaming Today, Howard Barish at Gaming Today News. What's up, HB?
I could be the assistant too. Just call me whatever you want.
No.
Jack of all trades,
We know who the
master of
assistant
none.
is, and it's not you. No.
That's okay.
So,
Yes.
wait,
Good Tuesday evening. Hope everybody's well.
it's Thursday.
Thursday evening.
Fuck it.
Sorry.
It's okay. Tuesday, Thursday. Doesn't fucking matter. Gabby, if you're listening, we know who the real assistant is. So let's welcome in our special guest this week, friend of the show, frequent visitor of the show. God damn, playoff beard in full effect. The Stanley Cup would probably be, coming up right now. And he's here with us, Junkyard, Jeff Davis, the director of trading at Caesars. What's up, Jeff?
Hi, Dave. I'd call it more of a quarantine beard than a playoff beard, but yeah, still can't get it shaved. Refuse to clean up the mess if I do because I want to,
Yep.
but at this point, I'm just going to tough it out.
That's cool. You got to do that now, yeah. So, well, it looks great, and we're glad to have you. Producing the show, as always, right there, he's Reynolds. I am Reynolds 2305 on Twitter. Just a goddamn fiend with this wrestling and all this other stuff. I saw Mike Tyson made an appearance in one of the events. That can only be a good thing at this point. Tyson doing anything, whether he's going to fight wrestling, whether he's going to fight Tyson Fury. I don't think they're going to fight him in Holyfield, but I know it's not for purists, AB. It's for people that want a spectacle. It would be a spectacle. No.
I'm not even going to address that. I can't. You're going to get me on an incredible rant. I can't.
Oh, an incredible rant from you would be incredible. So
No. I got other variables involved that I couldn't get around if I start talking about it. So
okay, fair enough. Well, what we're going to talk about then, at least unless we get you to open up later, tonight the format of the show is going to be this. We're going to talk about sports that are coming back or may come back, starting with the NHL. And, 2 cities, hub cities, 24 teams, 4 top seeds get buys or have to play for the seeds, and everyone else is playing. We're going to discuss that with our resident, one of our hockey experts, the Junkyard. Then we'll transition to some baseball talk. Whatever side of the fence you're on this thing, every day that goes by, it looks like they're going to fuck it up and not play. It feels that way to me, but we'll get the guys' takes on that. We'll discuss the match, the golf match that was in the pouring down rain with Brady and Phil and Tiger and Peyton. We'll touch on the UFC here at Apex in Las Vegas, as well as the casinos are opening June 4th, 1 week from today. They're going to open. That's going to be a welcome sight for those of us that live here, as well as for anyone that's coming. And our friend of the show, Derek Stevens, just bought 1,700 tickets for people to come. So, and they sold out in a couple hours. So there's going to be people here. I don't know what they're going to be doing and where they're going to be, but they're going to be social distancing and hanging out. And then finally, at the end, we may have a movie review or two, or we'll see if we can get AB to go on a rant. if he's still has anything left.
I hope he has something.
Yeah, if he has something. So let's start it off with this. Now, before, the regular listeners of the show, we want to thank you at GT Cash Consider. My Twitter handle, by the way, which I keep forgetting to give, is at SportsBKConsig, Sportsbook Consigliere. So we thank you for listening to the show. Follow the show. We've had a couple other ratings dropped for us. Thank you. Show's available on YouTube as well with the Gaming Today channel where Howard's doing sports picks. Our show's available. And then there's some other interviews and stuff that even HB's doing. So it's all there. Let's get to it, boys. Hockey. Jeff, when you saw the initial plan, hub cities, 24 teams, what were your initial thoughts? And then when you went to make the numbers, was it difficult?
Well, obviously, my first thought is, excited we're going to have some semblance of hockey back. This Stanley Cup, or, call it the Pandemic Cup, if you will, it's always going to have a little asterisk next to it. Playing in front of, probably no fans through the end, playing in hub cities. I don't know what the feel is going to be. I don't know what it's going to be like on TV. I am excited to hear what comes through on the microphones on some of these broadcasts because it's going to be tremendous. It's just great. It's great to know that a league that's usually kind of, is kind of faded a bit from popularity against, basketball and football is the first to say, all right, let's come back. Let's do this. While baseball, like you said, is just spinning its wheels. As far as
he's working together and whether they're going to pipe in, audience noise or what, I'm with you though. Like you've been to rinks, you've played hockey, you know what the sounds are going to be like. If we can hear a lot of that, it's going to be really cool.
Oh yeah, like it's stuff that you're not going to let your kids watch. I mean, it's the language is going to be tremendous. But
I'm putting my 4-year-old right in front of the TV.
Oh, man.
As far as the numbers go, it's actually, no one knows any more than anyone else. If you don't have a gym in your house, then you really can't have worked out all that much. Because, a lot of the guys who live in a high rise that has a gym, it's going to be closed, because of this nonsense. So who knows? Who knows who's going to have what? Who knows who's been doing what? So, you're looking at a 3-week training camp, might be less. Guys are just going to want to play. They're not going to want to just skate. So who the hell knows what's going to happen in the first couple games? So you just put up a price that you think the price would be on a neutral site 3 months ago, and you go with it, and there's not much else you can do because really, again, who knows? There's so many variables right now.
There's so many variables, and then the one thing that I think I looked at initially with the numbers or thinking what the numbers should be, there's really no injuries. Everybody's going to go into this pretty much even as far as where they were to now is drastically different. I mean, we're basically starting the season over. Unless you had a season-ending injury in February, you're going to play in these in these playoffs. Let's call it that. So that factor, and we don't know who's going to play goal for some of these teams, right? You just don't know who's going to be in net. So I went through the prices, at least for the series, and, they're all minus 150-ish or less, except Toronto's a little bit heavy with Columbus, which I guess I can see. And then my Penguins, you got 185. I see $2 in places. I'll throw this one out at you. I just did a little show research. The Penguins have never won a 5-game series, which is somewhat misleading because there weren't that many. They weren't in that many in the 70s, but the 5-game series was common back in the 70s. And they've never beat Montreal in the playoffs, ever. It's only happened a couple times. But, again, you can skew the statistics. Who you guys have like 500 to 1. Are they live?
Well, it's crazy, and this is what makes this playoff system interesting. And, a team like Carolina gets screwed, who's probably going to make the playoffs, and now they're going to play. Now they're going to play the Rangers to get to the round of 16. One of the team who was one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference in the last couple of months, and the Rangers were 4-0 against Carolina this year. So while it screws them, it helps a team like Montreal. I think we had 1,000-1 on them to win the Cup. I believe they were 9 out of the playoffs with 11 to go, which in the NHL is nearly impossible to make up. I mean, they had, I would say, less than a 1% chance to make the playoffs. And now they're in. And they have a guy, Carey Price, who, he hasn't been himself the last few years, but in a 5-game series, he has it in him. The question is, can he find it? And a guy like that can beat any team on any night. Are the Penguins the much better team? Sure, but I don't know. How big of a favorite can you make a team against another team given the circumstances of how these games are going to be played?
Right. AB, Mo, you guys see the list of 10 cities that we're talking about for these hubs? Would you say Vegas is a favorite to be one of the cities?
I would say they're definite. I think they're going to get it. I mean, I don't see where anyone else has the facilities that we do on this side of the country, but,
I don't know. Mo, what do you think about playoff and Stanley Cup hockey in July and August in one of the hottest places in the United States?
I think just any sports in general for myself would be great. So, I mean, as far as like the circumstances, it's fine on what's happening, with them talking about it, but I would want it back. I mean, like I just said, I watched NASCAR for like 6 days. I don't know any other way but to be watching hockey if I had to.
See, this guy is an ice purist. He's worried about the ice conditions. I'm like, I don't care if they're playing in buckets of water. Just shoot the puck.
Play in a park. You can just go play wherever you want. It doesn't matter where it is.
Mo, do you like watching NASCAR at this point?
I think I've learned some things that I think are like – I haven't learned much, actually. Right. Never mind. I don't know. I do like it, though. I feel like I like it more than I ever had in my life. Obviously, action is involved, but I don't know.
Would you just bet and not watch?
It might take some time.
Okay.
Yeah,
a lot of time there.
What's that, Dave?
How do you feel about NASCAR watching it?
I just don't watch it. Why watch it?
HB, do you partake in any NASCAR at all?
Nah, it's the pits.
Unintended.
Excellent work.
Bingo.
True story. I've watched one NASCAR race my entire life from start to finish. Dale Earnhardt died.
Oh.
You killed NASCAR. You're a murderer.
My friends that watched it were like, "You're never allowed to watch this again." I said, "Don't worry.
Yeah, we're good.
Won't happen."
I'm all right. I'm good. I'm fine.
Joe Killer. Way to go. Good stuff right there, AB. Jeff, tie up the hockey talk with the top 4 seeds in each side are kind of playing for the top seed. Your Bruins kind of got screwed in that regard because they had they had a big lead. It looked like they were going to sew up the 1 seed. Do you favor either side? I mean, I saw the numbers in the West. The Knights are plus 275, the Avalanche plus 350, St. Louis plus $4, and Dallas 7-1. In the East, you got Bruins and the Lightning at 3-1 to win the Cup. Washington 5-1, the Flyers 6-1, and the Penguins 7-1. Feels pretty good. Like it's pretty wide open, isn't it?
Yeah, it's wide open, and I wonder this 3-game round robin to seed is. I wonder about the intensity of these games because all you're really playing for is last line change in Game 7 or Game 5 in this case. It might be a 5-game series that first round. So, I mean, yeah, guys got to get skating and get competitive games under their belts. But I mean, the games are essentially meaningless because you don't know who's going to beat who below. And frankly, I don't have the seeds in front of me, but there's got to be a 7 or an 8 who's far worse than a 10 or an 11 just because, records are kind of fickle. I don't see a lot of – while the games might be great in this round robin thing, I wonder. I really question the intensity and what are they really even playing for?
The seeding thing very much feels like scrimmage games to me. It's like, well, we got to let the teams who had the leads get out on the ice versus making them wait and letting other teams play is what it feels like. Because to your point, like it's not like getting the 1 seed gets you home ice. It gets you absolutely nothing. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you had to give them games. So, like,
Right, yeah. That's what I'm
you know,
saying.
because if a team that just played a playoff series was playing against a team that hadn't played in 5 months, it'd be like, you know, a full send on the team that's already played games in every game.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
But in the situation, they are playing for last line change because home team gets last line change, which is big in close third games in the third period of who's matching up against who. So, you know, by definition, in a 7-game series, they would have last line change one more, in one more game.
And
But again, that's it.
they get to put their stick down second on the faceoffs.
Correct.
Which, again, you know, for the purists, that's a slight advantage. But you're right. That's it. So it's going to be interesting, and we're going to have time to talk about it, but we definitely wanted to touch on it while we had Jeff with us. So that'll wrap the hockey talk. Let's move on to baseball, boys. What the fuck are they doing? And, you know, HB, your management, somewhat. I'll go to you first. The players, I mean, did you see what Scherzer, tweeted? Did you read any of what Boris said? It makes a lot of sense. The players have a valid point in this. And I know it's a pandemic, and I know we need baseball, we need hope. But if somebody came to you and said, take a 25% pay cut of a 50% pay cut, you'd have an argument. No?
You would, but then given the scope of the pay, especially somebody like a pitcher that goes to work every 4 or 5 days, it's hard for America to swallow. But you mentioned the name before of the person that has run baseball for the last 10 years, and that's Scott Boras. He's got the lock on baseball.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's good or bad. It's really good for his clients. I wish Scott Boras was my agent. The guy gets a job done, and he has for years. Jeff, you love baseball. I love baseball. What do you think is going to happen with all this right now?
I don't want baseball to come back. I'm not a fan of Rob Manfred at all. With the rule changes and, with all this nonsense he's trying to do, and then maybe if he somehow gets the whole season to not play, everything can turn against him and they can put anyone else in that chair. I don't care who it is. I won't go any further. It's not an anti-Rob Manfred podcast. So enough about that.
Hey, Mo, you're a NASCAR guy now. But
that's all I care. That's all I know. I don't know much.
You want to see baseball or no?
Like, once again, I guess, like, we just came off the hockey topic, but yeah, like, if I could, watch baseball and, get back into the mound, the guy throwing it off the mound or whatever, that'd be fine. I don't know. I can't say what sport I wouldn't want to watch at this point. We'd have to go into that conversation.
Did any of you happen to catch Real Sports on HBO?
No.
They had the 3 labor leaders from football, baseball, and basketball, NBA, NHL, NBA, NFL, MLB, and they were all very coy. Like, we've all spoken. We're basically colluding behind the scenes. Don't fuck with us. Yeah, and Brian Gumbel was interviewing them. It was very interesting.
Gumbel's still going? He's still
going?
He's still going.
All right.
AP, raise or die?
Who knows at this point? I mean, what are we even looking at? I don't even know the format. My thing is, like, is it true? So like take a guy like Scherzer. What does he make per season? Approximately 30. Okay. So the original thing was he was going to make 15, and now they want him to make what, 8? Is that
5 or something?
Slumming.
Well, like, I get it, but I don't know. Like, if he doesn't play, isn't he going to get 0?
I believe so.
So
the guy making that can take the 0.
Yeah, I guess that's up to him. I just think it's kind of crazy to just, pitch like, maybe quarter schedule, half schedule and not make money. But,
Apparently it's all, to not set precedent for the next one. That's what That's
Yeah.
that's what they're doing. That's what they're talking about.
Sounds like baseball.
Yeah, it's not about this season. It's about the next labor agreement, and it's
Sounds
about,
like politics, the next election cycle.
there's a lot of things that it sounds like, and it sounds like bullshit is really what it is. And I just don't know if they're going to do it. My gut feeling says that all this negotiating and all these things, they're going to fuck it up because the NHL is working together, labor and management. They're like this. They're working together. I don't know what the NBA is doing. They're going back and forth. They're ironing it all out, and they're going to play probably in Orlando. And whether they're going to let the 9 through 12 guys play for the West to get in and whatever, I don't know. But they're going to play. So baseball's going to lose out. Baseball's going to fuck it up. There's no question that if they don't play, it's going to be a major hit.
If I had to bet it right now, I would bet no.
You would bet no?
I would.
Yeah, I mean, what are they going to do? Hockey isn't logically going to be able to play a game before August 1st. I mean, how many games is baseball going to play?
Right.
Like, white flag it and start over next year at this point. No, seriously. I mean, these guys shouldn't have to play for, 20% of their contract or whatever all this nonsense is. Like, they signed for an amount of money, and they should be paid that amount of money because that's what they signed for. And they don't want to risk getting hurt, making less.
Well, aren't their contracts guaranteed? So, like, in theory, if a guy got Tommy John surgery, he's still on the hook for all that money, right?
Yeah, I believe so. But this is a different case. But
Yeah,
I'm not a contract writer or reader, so I have no idea.
there's language about natural disasters and wars and things like that will exclude them.
Well,
Well, then, yeah, I wouldn't play.
No, but I don't think they'll get paid.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't play. If my contract is not guaranteed because the coronavirus existed, then, yeah, forget it. I'm out.
Yeah.
right. White flag it and bring it back next year. That can be the quote, one of the quotes in the notes this week from Jeff regarding baseball. Excellent stuff. Let's move on to the match, the golf, the made-for-TV event that went way better, in my opinion, than the first one. And it was because Peyton and Brady were there. Although Tiger was pretty loose. Maybe just different place, felt comfortable. I don't know. But he was a little more entertaining than he was. The first match I thought was such a dud TV-wise. This one was just better. Better theater, better golf, better, the rain kind of maybe added to it. It took away from the aesthetics of it. But, Jeff, how was the action with you guys for the match?
I mean, no, it's hard, man. I don't even know how to respond to that question. I'm so move on. Ask a different question to a different person.
Did you guys?
What should we make of that?
Did you guys see a lot of bets on it, Mo?
Oh yeah, well, it was more than I expected personally, but during what's going on, we did pretty well as far as handle, but we won to the match. I didn't really see much of the props that we had,
Right.
Which there was a pretty, there was a couple big decisions, but the main match we ended up winning pretty well. So
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Tiger and Peyton got bet up, and then they got bet down. The number was anywhere close to -$2. Kind of came back down. I don't know where it closed, but HB, you're not really a golfer. Did you watch it?
I did, and I really enjoyed it. I prognosticated it the right way. I thought that Peyton would be much better than Brady, and he proved that early on. Brady hit the exciting wedge shot that went in that I thought was great for ratings. I love the cart cams.
yeah, Space Jam.
And look,
That was
you had
another
four
really good one.
icons there. Yeah, you said Tiger was pretty loose. I thought he was kind of aloof. He was a little quiet. Like,
Well,
you know,
he was, but he was better than he was the first time they played.
yeah. But I overall thought we would hear more out of Tiger, and I guess he just let Phil do his thing.
Yeah, well, Phil does his thing. That's what Phil does.
He just chirps.
Yeah,
He doesn't stop.
that's what he does. And I don't know. Jeff, as a golf guy, would you want to see this become like an annual thing and pair them with other people?
I hope I never see that again. As a golf guy, I want to watch like a lot of players playing golf. I don't want to watch two guys playing golf. Like, it's a charity event. That's great. But the charity's going to get the money no matter what. I don't need to watch terrible, like, I watched a few holes of the McIlroy and DJ one, and DJ wanted to be anywhere on earth other than that event. I mean, he was playing so fast, he didn't care. And then I watched like the first 5 or 6 holes of this match, and I was just like, God, I turned the TV off, and I was like, wow, that's so much better.
Rate it as far as that against vocabulary. You're actually picking vocabulary in that situation?
Oh, by leaps and bounds.
It's not even close. It's not even close. It's great.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, vocabulary wouldn't watch the golf because the ball's round. So.
Oh, yeah, it's simple. Yeah, that makes sense.
He wouldn't watch it either.
Nobody's getting that.
Well, if you listen to that old one episode that we were all laughing,
Oh, it was
maybe
For the diehards.
It's
an instant
thing.
classic.
Yeah. And for those of you that have time and want to go back and listen to Junkyard's original appearance on the show, all the past episodes are available where we address him and his daughter watching vocabulary and vocabulary's disdain.
Proclivity.
For circular food. So all of that is available on the past episode. And also on that episode was Jeff's excitement for the New Jersey Devils, I believe. And one of his quotes was, if the Devils don't either make the playoffs or something, we were going to see him on top of the stratosphere. I'm glad that that's probably a voided bet.
No cord.
Yep, refund.
You don't have to worry about Jeff taking any exploration trips up to the top of the stratosphere.
No, that's correct. But, I mean, to flip that, bet on David Pastrnak to win the Rocket Richard. He won the Rocket Richard. I get a refund because they did not play 75 regular season games.
Wow.
Oh, that's a refund?
Sure is. Hooray me.
Some places actually paid that. I don't know if you saw that. I saw a couple places paid it, but some places paid everything. They paid all the winners and they refunded all the losers. So again, I don't know what we're doing in a lot of places. There's jurisdictions now that have sport books. They make these decisions, and I guess it's customer goodwill. I don't know, but they're doing it. So, all right, let's jump over to my guys here on my left, the upper left corner, and AB. Their expertise. This UFC event is here in Las Vegas in what's called the Apex, which is the UFC's place in town. Apparently, I read it's a 25-foot ring instead of a 30-foot ring. That's the only difference. There still won't be fans there. I don't know. My money's on AB to sneak his way in there somehow. If there's a way in, the guy will get in there. Let me ask you guys this. I'll just throw it out there. We'll start with you, AB. How's the card overall, and is Woodley as easy as he looks? And I know you wrote a column about it in Gaming Today that's available on the digital subscription as well, but I'll go to you first. What do you think?
Well, first off, unfortunately, we're back to typical UFC Fight Night cards where the card is not good, but that's kind of to be expected. The real bad part is next week's pay-per-view is really bad. But that being said, there's always a couple fights that I can find some interest in. Woodley being easy, I don't know. I don't think it's that easy. He was bet up. He's starting to get bet down a little bit. It's one of those fights where, it really depends on where Woodley is after losing the title. He's had a long layoff. Burns, has been on the way up. He's climbing. The big thing is Woodley's been in the ring with so many better guys. So I kind of said, you should take the under. I recommended minus 140. I think it's at 185 now. So, that I talk all the time about price is everything. And there's sometimes you just got to pass, even if it might be the right side. You're not doing yourself any favors by laying the extra 45 cents.
Right. Yeah. You guys right now. Current line is Woodley minus 180. 4.5 is the total in the fight. It's minus 170 right now with you guys. But it is climbing. Other places have it 180. Just checking it out right now. Reynolds, anything you see here with this that you want to even address, or is this one of those where you just probably not even watch?
Oh, I definitely won't watch it. It's trash. I mean, as far as Woodley and Burns goes, like for me, this is a fight that I'm staying away from because I don't know what either guy's going to show up. You had Burns, who got his marquee win on that card in Brazil. That was like the last one before they started canceling things in the pandemic, and he knocked out Damian Maia, which was a nice accomplishment. But Damian Maia is also at the end of his career, never been much of a striker. So how impressive is it really? Woodley was thrashed by Usman when he lost the title. And then now he's talking about that he went into depression after that. So how much training was he actually able to do? I don't know who's going to show up. I'm staying away from the card. I'm staying away from the fight. I would have a much better time watching, vocabulary or any other garbage thing that's on Netflix right now.
Trash and vocabulary, they're brutal. What are we doing? Shots fired.
You're the one that said you hated the guy.
Well, just because of his actions, I never hated the show. The show was fine.
But you're going after him, and now you're trying to back
go
him
after
up.
his family. I don't care who's in it. I don't care. None of that. I don't even know vocabulary personally, so that's
Bringing pizzas, Mo. It's all circular food, baby. You just come with the pizzas and stuff, and you're good.
It's not good. No pancakes. None of that stuff.
None of that shit.
Oh.
Well, we'll see. UFC has captivated audiences now, being the first ones back and having the live events. And like you said, AB, it's just how can you keep churning out fights and cards so quickly? Is there someone on this card that just fought 2 weeks ago?
There was, and then he hurt his shoulder. I actually recommended him in the paper because the quick turnaround thing. But yeah, I mean that's kind of the situation they're in. Like I'm of the opinion that they should do this because at least they're on TV and it's something live to watch. But like Reynolds just said, guys like us that know the MMA game, I mean, we're not going to get excited for these type of cards because it's a one fight card. I mean, maybe 1.5.
Yeah.
Well, to AB's point though, on it's it's the only thing going. The ratings have not been impressive for these cards. They've been on the above average end of what they've been on ESPN. But considering that there's nothing else going on right now, really not that impressive that they're still pulling in pretty average numbers.
Well, and that's interesting because, The Last Dance, which we addressed on the last couple of shows, pulled a monster number because nothing else is going on. This match that Jeff, who enjoys watching golf, didn't watch more than 3 holes of, pulled in another monster number because nothing else was going on. So what we're seeing is things maybe being elevated, maybe not from an action standpoint as far as wagering, but at least from a viewership standpoint, they're being watched because nothing else is going on.
Well, and stars are what drive numbers. Like if we had a Conor McGregor fight next weekend, I guarantee you the numbers would be outstanding. But they're going to lose so much money to not having a gate with fans that they're not going to risk having him out there and possibly lose. So those are kind of the trade-offs that you get.
Yeah. Speaking of things being elevated, HB, is horse racing this past week still been where it was as far as like 2 times, 3 times handle and stuff like that?
It's been good, but this has been a bad week for news. Bob Baffert had a couple of positive tests, including charlatan, which Mo has mentioned in the past. I know he was busy right now talking to AB, but he's mentioned charlatan in the past. He had a positive drug test, and he's probably going to get disqualified from the Arkansas Derby. And then the other horse, Nadal, named after the tennis player, fractured his ankle this morning in a workout, and he's being retired.
Yeah, so out of the Kentucky Derby. So
yeah, and the purists are still feeling very confused and upset about the Belmont going before the other 2 races. But that's just a scheduling issue because they can't have the Belmont after the Preakness because of the Breeders' Cup. So things are just really screwed up in that respect.
Right. Yep. Well,
But we'll see. Del Mar announced this morning that they will be having a meet only 3 days a week, no fans,
Oh,
Friday, Saturday,
wow.
Sunday,
Oh.
which is really strange because the whole town and the vibe of that area is based on live gate and attendance.
yeah.
All the businesses rely on that. Same with Saratoga. So if Saratoga does the same thing and there's no fans up there, it's going to be really bizarre.
It is. Well, we're coming out of bizarre times, but the times are still bizarre in some places more so than others. We've had some, very interesting things happen here, all over the country, wherever you're listening to the show. You've had, places that are in green zone, yellow zone, red zone, phase 1 through 4. There's all kinds of bullshit. Nobody knows the colors. When can you go get your fucking beard trimmed? Wear a fucking mask or not? I mean, there's just so many questions. And
Dave, I believe the red zone is for loading and unloading only. I'm not 100% on that.
No,
This is the white zone.
the Pennsylvania has got red, yellow, green, and there's people that still counties in the red zone that are really pissed off about it. And I don't know what's going on. But I know this. We finally got a date for Las Vegas and casinos to open. It's next Thursday, June 4th. I don't know, guys. Jeff, you still going into the office? You still, you go in the big place and you don't see anybody. You don't.
No, it's weird, man.
So, what do you think? One, just about the casinos open, but two, you actually going to work and seeing people. It's going to be different, right?
Well, for us, like our office is at Harrah's, so Flamingo and Caesars are the first two to open. So it's not going to be us in my building right away. I go to the office a few times a week. I see very, very few people, an engineer, a cleaning person, a construction guy, a security guard, but I don't see 10 people in a day. But as far as
Seems like a good day.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's a killer day.
As far as the casinos go, I mean, it's going to be great. With the local spots, I think are going to be overflowing with people, and it's going to be like Arizona was when they opened the casinos a couple weeks ago. A line out the door to get in, and I have a strange feeling that's going to be the case. You got a lot of people tired of being locked down in the house, and they just want to get out and enjoy themselves, even with the social distancing restrictions that are going to be in effect in all these places.
Mo, you're like the social king of the crew.
That's all right.
You're
Fair.
out, you're the youngin, partying, doing your thing. Are you excited for this?
I'm still wondering if I'm going to go to any pools yet, because that seems like a breeding ground for just any germs, like not even COVID germs. So that's where I'm kind of marking my territory now personally. But I think I just had a conversation with myself about how much I miss Boulder Station, which is absurd because no one wants to go to Boulder Station. But it's like my home away from home. Like it's like right down the street. I'm just there for a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to be out for sure. Unfortunately, I said Boulder Station, but somehow I'm going to end up at all these casinos that are going to open.
Yeah.
I have no choice.
Well, your boss or the boss of the casino where you're at went and gave away all these plane tickets. Have you guys made any, preparations, changes, things that you're going to have people in the book and get over-the-counter handle? Have you heard anything at work where you're going to change anything that's going on?
I think we're going to, as soon as June 4th hits, like the 24-hour deal is going to be in effect. So, I mean, anybody that can get into the casino, that has any type of money or wants to bet, they'll be able to come in and place it. But, as far as like meetings and stuff like that, they've been scrambling around and trying to figure out what they want to do and how they want to seat people in, because we have smaller sports books as it is. And I think he's built that new Canada bar as well up top at the D.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you know, they've been going through it. I've just been there, you know, booking for the most part. I haven't been talking to them, but I can see everyone kind of sweating around me. Like, I don't know how this is going to work out, but you know, with what Derek Stevens is doing, I mean, they'll build a statue for him in like 20 years for this stuff. But it'll end up working out, you know, hopefully.
Have you guys had to do a heat check yet at all? You know, a thermometer or anything?
Deion Waiters heat check?
Oh man, on
what?
the plane? No, I'm kidding. It's terrible. No.
Yeah, we have to. When I walk in, I have to get my temperature taken.
Oh wow.
Oh, that just happened? I haven't been for a minute.
Yeah, it was like last week. Yeah.
How do they do it?
With one of those like things you kind of put up near your forehead, the electric ones.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They're going to do that at every entrance. It's going to be really a big change. You know, the natural hustle bustle and coming and going is going to be different. But I don't know. HB, you talk to, you know, I mean, if these people ever email you back or call you back, you know, you talk to other people in casinos. What's your feedback, at least? You know, I saw your article drop about the buffets, and we're probably going to see very few, if any at all, buffets. But from casino execs, what's the feel?
Right now, it's just follow the protocols from the Nevada Gaming Commission or Gaming Control Board to a T, and then figure everything else out. There's no long-range planning as far as marketing and advertising, other than there's a lot of discussion about customer acquisition and giving very enticing offers to get gamblers here. The Native American tribes in California are giving away gobs of money, $3,000 and $5,000 offers, you know, free play to come back. You know, obviously every company here has a different threshold with regard to that. But I think right now it's just falling in line with the protocols. You have a culinary union and other unions that are going to be very challenging to deal with, because there's going to be this big struggle. You know, are we doing things right? Are we not? Do I make a grievance? Does this sanitizer give me an asthma attack? There are going to be so many things going on that the operations are just going to change forever.
Yeah, forever, at least for a month. And then if there's nothing else further that happens, the shit's going to just continue to, I don't know. I mean, you can see it when you go out now. There's less masks at the store. There's people going in. There's just, I don't know. I just think that as Vegas as a city, casinos, we need people here. So as long as people fly here, that's the first step.
But there's a lot of moving parts. The airlines have to ramp up their service here. It's going to just first start with California drive-in business.
Yeah. Well, that may be enough, at least initially.
To start.
And
when I say ever, if a vaccine comes along in the next 6 to 12 months, obviously the game changes.
Oh, yeah. But again, and this is a whole nother discussion, there's a flu vaccine and 40% of the people take it, you know, or get one. So you can have a vaccine. If you don't go get it or don't, you know, it's not effective. That's a whole nother issue. Enough on that. I just hope it goes well. There's a lot of people opening at midnight. Saw some people opening at 10 o'clock. We're going to know a lot after next weekend. We saw Jeff referred to, you know, the casinos in Arizona. There were lines. There were people. We got like 20 casinos opening on the Strip. I don't know if we'll see lines at every one. There'll be people. And they made some good decisions about like not charging for the parking. Some of them still have the resort fees.
I seen one guy drive up to Circa, and he asked me when I was walking into work if the blackjack tables were open. So if you're asking me if there's going to be lines, there will be lines.
Yeah.
There might not be
Mark that
lines at
down.
the strip casinos, but you can't tell me the sickos at the Gold Coast aren't going to be filed.
Oh, the
out.
cold. Oh, man, dog. They're going to be piling in. People are going to be jumping over each other.
Oh, yeah.
To get the chip down. They can't get the chips down quick enough.
What about like
Throw it all
Arizona
in.
Charlie's? Like, you know, there's going to be lines all over those places.
The Dotties, the PTs.
Oh, the dot. I'm gonna be at the PTs. I'll be
Are
in
they
line.
able to open too? I thought they weren't opening.
Now, all gaming comes on at once.
Oh, I was under the impression it was just the casinos first, and then the gaming like Dottie's and PTs and stuff were after because they
No.
wanted to have the business of the casinos. Okay. Well,
Everyone together.
oh, well, great.
I like not seeing the machines in the stores. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna hate it when they come back. I'm
Yeah.
gonna hate that shit. I'm gonna hate
Why,
it.
have you ever gotten a $100 gallon of milk?
No.
I have.
Oh man, that's
Many-
incredible.
Yeah.
I can't relate. I can't relate.
Well, you've had $100, shots. Let's put it that way.
Well, oh, man,
Things like that.
brutal.
Is that for off the air?
Before we get out of here, there's been so many things on TV, so many things on streaming services to watch, to not watch, different things like that. So our producer Reynolds threw something out at us today about Uncut Gems and it being released on Netflix. I'll go last because I don't want to ruin it for the rest of you. I saw you shaking your head back and forth, HB. It wasn't up and down. It was side to side. Uncut Gems. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
2 big thumbs down. I saw it when it came out in the theaters Christmas time.
Oh,
And I thought Sandler captured the skeevy guy very well, but the story and the flow of the movie and everything else sucked. Thank you.
Jeff, did you see it?
Don't even know what it is.
That's fantastic. Do
For
you
the audience, Jeff is not a big movie guy.
Okay.
Yeah, not at all.
Don't even know.
Well,
It's not as
don't even
important
know
as
what it is.
hockey.
No,
do not waste your
close.
time. Even if it's on for free on the backup or what, don't.
No, I actually won't watch it for doll. Like, I would need a lot of money to sit and watch it, and I don't even know what it is.
AB, movie guy. Did you watch it?
I have like 20 minutes left. I was trying to get it all in before the show, but couldn't
Right.
do it. I'm kind of in the mixed bag. Like, I think there are some great things about the movie, but one of the things that I absolutely hated, the audio is just horrendous. I mean, they're playing this backtrack music while people are talking, so you can't even necessarily hear what they're saying. The filmmaker definitely wanted to create the image of chaos. Like, the guy's life's in chaos, and the whole film is chaos. But it's so on the nose and so overkill that bothered me. But Sandler's fantastic in it. I think it has moments in it that are decent. But overall, I mean, it can be a total pass. The 6-team parlay thing that is said in the film is just ridiculous. I mean, he wants Celtics +1, Celtics halftime, KG points, rebounds, blocks, and the Celts opening tip. And he's got like 40K.
On a 16 parlay.
Yeah, and then he's like, hey, you take lightning points? He's like, you don't want lightning points. He's like, no, 1,000 a point.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I'll tell you what else pissed me off.
yes.
What else really pissed me off, and it was factually incorrect because there's no sports betting in Connecticut, and they had them sports betting at Foxwoods.
Mohegan Sun, I thought, right?
Or Mohegan, I'm sorry. Same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
15 minutes apart.
All right, I actually hate this movie, and I don't.
Yeah,
even know
no,
what it
yeah,
is
there,
now.
yeah,
I
boom.
now
Yeah.
hate it.
I felt like that was coming at some point.
Yep,
That's
hate it.
good. That was
It
good.
annoyed me that it was
I
factually
seen that
incorrect.
from miles away.
Go to a place that takes sports betting. At least let us sports bettors feel that it's a little more real.
AB sounded like he may have got an envelope, boys, with that review. I'm pretty surprised. He actually found the positives out of that. Mo, did you see it? Did you get a chance to watch any of it?
I think when it initially came out, like there was 3 people telling me like you would probably like this movie, as they were calling me a degenerate, like not saying it. So I was like, all right, fuck that.
Is this your
But then I talked to people that did watch it, and they all told me they hated it. So it like swayed my judgment. So I don't know. Anytime I ever had a chance to watch it, I found something better to do, I guess.
Did your
Which I
pops,
don't know what
is
it
your
was.
pops a guy who would watch this, or is your pops a guy who would tell you that you're a degenerate?
Oh my, yeah, he would. Like, but in like a lighthearted way, but not really. Like he would tell me I'm dumb sometimes or whatever. But I think if I showed him this movie, he'd get mad. I don't think my dad would like it.
Did you know he was at the first Super Bowl?
No shit. I don't see a stub. He never showed me the stub. I don't care what happens.
Go back to our Super Bowl episode for that story. Mo's dad insists he was at the first Super Bowl. Mo, as his son, wants to see the stub. Hasn't been able to be produced. So Mo,
Good son.
Every Super Bowl, he can't not say it. I wait, like I sit at the table and I'm like, he's gonna pull that shit
He
out.
probably went to it like it was the XFL championship and was like, man, they probably don't even have this next year. So I'm ditching this stuff.
Oh man, he's always like, I've seen Vince Lombardi. I know who Vince Lombardi is.
I'll give you this. My take on Uncut Gems was it was terrible.
Off the bat.
It wasn't a good watch. I mean, AB, maybe you can see that director.
It's super artsy.
It's chaotic. You said the audio sounded like it was recorded on Anchor. I thought you were doing that an actual compliment with that because it sounded jumbled the whole time. I kept adjusting the volume while I was watching it, going, "Why? What is wrong with this?" If that was the way it was presented, okay. Judd Hirsch was great. I thought he was excellent in it. Otherwise, man, it's a gambling movie, but anyone that knows anything about gambling isn't going to like the movie and is going to have a lot of questions and go, wow, that was 2.5 hours of bullshit. But it's on Netflix now, so it's not that expensive. HB got taken in the movie theater for it. So, they owe him. I guess, we always talk about who owes.
Yeah, they owe.
They
Big.
owe. Yeah, they owe. There won't be no rematch in that one either. There ain't gonna be no rematch. That one's a one and done.
It's one and done. Yeah, one and done. Good
there
call.
ain't no Uncut Gems
nice.
2. That one's out. All right.
Uncut trash.
Before we go, I wanted to mention I got caught up in a Twitter feed today with a couple guys in Pittsburgh they're the on-air CBS sportscasters in KDK TV in Pittsburgh. They're playing a match part 2 tomorrow, and they asked me to make a line. So I'll be very interested to see if you guys follow along on Twitter. We went back and forth. I did their show earlier tonight, the nightly sports call in Pittsburgh, and we talked about the line and what goes into making it. It was pretty interesting, but that's something to look forward to tomorrow. I'll go around the horn here on the way out. Let's start with our guest, Jeff. Anything you want to mention to the listeners? We know you're not on Twitter, but you're on Mitch and Paulie. You're doing those again. I see you talking a little bit to Purdom getting out there. What's on the agenda, at least for the weekend, or maybe looking forward to something this week or next week?
Honestly, just looking forward to the hockey. Gives me something to get back into. And it gives you the hope that more sports are going to come back. And the sooner more sports can come back, the sooner, all the sportsbook employees can get back to doing their jobs and everything can start to get back to normal. And really that's what, I look forward to every week is trying to find, some more normalcy in all of the nonsense that's going around.
Amen. Excellent. Mo, we know you're not normal. But
Zero
normal. But what do we got going on? Either for the weekend, work?
It's my nephew's.
I know June 4th is coming up. It's only a week away, and it's going to be a blowout for you when it gets to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a game changer.
What do you got?
I'm changing the game on the 4th, I think. That's what I'm thinking about right now. But my nephew turns 2 on Saturday, so we'll have like a party for him, and I'll try not to be belligerent there, I guess. But yeah, I think I've somehow been winning in KBO, so I'm gonna try to keep that streak up, and not be an idiot with the money that I'm making right now. So it's not much,
Bet the Dinos. All they do is win.
That's every day. Every day I see them.
Yeah,
Chang Mo Koo, the Randy Johnson of the KBO. Take that to the bank.
Lay the run line with the Dinos. HB, on the way out, what do you got, Howard? Anything?
Just excited to report on next week. We'll still keep it digital. we'll gauge our customers like Jeff and some of the other sportsbook operations and see when there'll be a demand for our print publication. And that I think will also come with some more sports coming back, just based on content and costs and everything. So yeah, just turning the page, excited, anxious, a little nervous to see what happens 2 or 3 weeks after that. But good stuff nonetheless, better than 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Right. AB, fresh cut, tightened up the beard, looking good. What do you got? Anything on the way out?
No, not really. I'm disappointed in the NFL for ditching the 4th and 15 instead of an onside kick because onside kicks are pointless. That's about all.
Yeah, I saw actually somebody put up
Who
a number.
proposed that?
It's 0.2%. There's been like 2 out of the last 118 or something onside kicks recovered.
I don't think it's that bad, but it's such a small percentage that it's a fluke if you get it, which means it's not something that should even be a factor in a game, in my opinion. I just think it's much more interesting to put the players on the field that matter, the offense and the defense, and see what happens. But
The onside kick is a staple of how dumb it is.
It's
Like, you
trash.
got to have it in
It's
there.
trash.
You cannot take
It's
it out.
trash.
I like seeing them get out there so I can laugh. I'm laughing during that moment.
Yeah, but like AB says, sometimes innovation's better. Like you just got to try something different. It wouldn't hurt to try it. If it doesn't work, okay, try something else or go back to it.
Well, I'm
No,
just saying, wouldn't you guys all rather watch a 4th and 15 play that could bring a team back in the game than an onside kick?
I don't know.
Isn't that a better play?
Under circumstance, but I like watching the onside crew come out. I like it. It's a personal thing.
Especially if it's Mitchell Trubisky. If he's understanding, that would work for me.
Then you'd want the onside team.
Roethlisberger's almost gone, Big Dave. The jabs are coming back soon, pal.
Yeah, I know. We got about 1, maybe 2, maybe 1. I think it may be 1. This may be it for Big Ben in our Steelers, but I think it'll be a good season. We'll worry about that. We got the Penguins to worry about first. That's first and foremost. On the way out, I'll just leave you with this. It's fucking hot outside. 107. I parked my car today, had to run a couple errands, got back in. My temperature thing said 113. I mean, forgot what that was like, and it's not even fucking June yet. So, talk about staying safe. I'm done with the staying safe comment. I don't want to hear stay safe anymore. Just wear the fucking mask, treat everybody with respect, wash your fucking hands, stay safe. Yeah, everybody stay safe. We've been staying safe. Let's live it a little bit, and let's, open this shit back up, whatever's going to be. I can't wait to see it. I'm excited for it. And I'm still open for any offers because I'm still a free agent. So that's available as well. We'll swing it around the horn with the Twitter handles: Howard at Gaming Today News, Alan at %Berg, Mo at He These Takes, Reynolds, I am Reynolds 2305, and Jeff is not on Twitter, but he is the Junkyard. Jeff Davis, thank you for joining us tonight.
JYD in the house.
You're the man. I can't wait. We might have to have a video recording when you finally get that fucking beard trimmed, because it is almost really a work of art at this point, and it's going to be a whole fucking, sit down in a chair, old school shave.
I think I'm anti-shave at this point. It looks so strong.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah, but I'm just tired. It's tiresome at this point. Like, I just want my face to breathe a bit. Yeah, Dave, we're going old school, straight blade. We're going to be, completely barren on the face.
Laid back, feet up, old school.
Yep.
Clean shave. Yeah, absolutely. That was for you, Alvarez. Congratulations on winning that handicapping tournament. That's one of our horse guys. And he's a big beard guy. Sent me the beard book. I know you're listening to the show. You leave that damn quote tweet every week, which gets a lot of traction. We appreciate that. We appreciate all the listeners who follow along the show at GT Cash Consider. Much appreciated. Maybe somebody can leave us another review during this time of pandemic. And call it the pandemic review. Maybe we'll find a way to get you maybe a hat or a T-shirt as well. But try that. Leave a review. Follow the show. Rate the show. Review the show. Thanks again, boys. I am Dave Sherapan at SportsBK Consig. We are wrapping this up. We'll talk to you guys next week. Thank you.